We have some breaking news right now. Amazon has begun canceling orders from China and other Asian countries, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of purchase orders. This is in response to Donald Trump's tariffs, which means prices will go up because the shortages of these products will increase in the United States. According to Bloomberg, the orders for beach chairs, scooters, air conditioners, and other merchandise from multiple Amazon vendors were halted after Donald Trump's April 2nd tariffs announcement. Many vendors believe this is in response to the tariffs. One vendor had been selling beach chairs made in China to Amazon for more than a decade, received an email saying, you know what, not to ship them anymore. $500,000 worth of beach chairs were nixed after the chairs had already been manufactured, leaving the person on the hook to pay the factory and find other buyers. If Amazon is canceling orders, I'm sure more companies will soon too, which means that there will be shortages in America for a number of items, which means costs will go up on these items.
Did you hear about what Amazon did in response to Donald Trump setting a higher tariff on China? Yes, China may be one of the strongest markets around the world, but that is one of the strongest markets around the world. We are left unchallenged when it comes to being the consumer of this world. In other words, your economy cannot function without this consumer. And now millions of products that China typically exports to other companies and other countries around the world have been put to a stop. How many millions of products every day does China ship around the world, especially to the United States? Because on average, Amazon ships over 20 million products a day, 75% of which come directly from China. And still you think China has the upper hand? You got to stop betting against.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1. You see, Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. You see, verse 8. You know what I mean? You see, Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 8. All things are full of labor. You see? And now you got the jobs diminishing, decreasing by the minute, by the second, by the day, by the hour. You see, in Babylon the Great, people are agitated, frustrated. You see, losing their careers, losing their homes, their family. You see, everything is collapsing, man. Period, man. It ain't just no goddamn Amazon. You see, them tariffs taking a toll on everything by the minute, by the second, by the day, by the hour. You see, before you know it, ain't nobody gonna have a goddamn job. Nobody gonna have no goddamn income. You see, Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 8. Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 8. All things are full of labor. You see, before you know it, man, the stock supply, that shit ain't gonna be coming in. You see? Yeah, off them boats, the merchandise that they bring in, you see, to stock on the trucks and bring it to the stores, however, whatever. You see? All things are full of labor. You see? Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing. Did you see that shit? You see? You know what I mean? Nor the ear filled with hearing the thing that have been. You see? It is that which shall be, and that which is done. is that which shall be done. See? Nothing new under the sun. You know, you dig? You know what I mean? You see, this is Rome 2.0. Rome on Wi-Fi. You see? You know what I mean? Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. You see? Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 9. The thing that have been, you see, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. You see, and there is no new thing under the sun. Oh, woo! You see, yeah, man. So proud ass demon devils, these vipers. You see, evil, filthy, disgusting, demonic ass nigga, women, bitches. Period, man. These hoes. You see, you filthy, nasty, disgusting ass Babylonians, you Egyptians, man. You motherfuckers about to suffer. You see, at a moment's notice, man. You understand? You know what I mean? You see? Yeah. It's about to go down, man. You see? People just don't have the slightest idea, man. You see? So I'm gonna let this play and get a couple of more scriptures or whatever. You see? You know what I mean? Because people bugging out, man. People losing it, man. They losing their mind. You understand? You see? But y'all want to point the finger at us. So expect that, brothers. What the fuck? You see? Expect that, man. They pointing the finger at us. They gonna look at us like we the problem. You see? Because we got the eyesight. Yeah, from the Heavenly Father. You see? Yeah, he gave us the eyesight to be able to have foresight and insight. You see?
Your president, you got to stop betting against this individual who is finally standing up to these bullies that are not trading fairly. Because at this very moment, China does not hold leverage over the United States. The United States carries all the leverage over China and any others that try to retaliate against us.
Amazon has announced that it's canceling inventory orders from China. What does that mean? That means if you're a supplier, a store, then you tend to send inventory out of China directly through Amazon. That's been put on hold. If you have a storefront on Amazon that you also sell to Temu and TikTok Shop, and you're again ordering straight out of China to the Amazon fulfillment center, that's come to an end. We're going to see a disruption in availability, disruption. Prices are going to get higher due to the tariffs. Amazon doesn't want to get stuck in the middle of this. They probably have to recalibrate the way that they do shipping costs and so forth because of what's happening with the tariffs and China. So this is developing. More to come. Stock market is absolute junk again today. It's. I'm not even going to watch it. It's wild swings in both directions. It's so news driven.
Hey, put this in your ear. I know how you hate going to my parents' house because they're always speaking Spanish. You can never understand it.
Driven.
So whether you think all of this is Trump's fault or if we already had a problem before Trump and he's just trying to fix things, we are going to be seeing an increase in prices now, particularly on Amazon. And a lot of people shop on Amazon. I know I do a lot of shopping on there when I need things because sometimes I can't always go out and get everything that I need. I don't have the time. So it's really convenient to be able to go online and shop for said necessary items. But here's the thing. Right now, prices are going to go up. And whether things get sorted out soon or not, I think the big idea here, at least for me, is to make sure that if there's anything right now that you really think you need off of Amazon, things that you need just generally speaking in terms of being prepared for higher food prices, higher cost of goods, things that maybe you've been putting off but you know that you will be purchasing. If you need to buy these items brand new, then perhaps go ahead and get these right now, because if we're going to continue to wait and make these purchases later, you're going to be paying likely at a very much higher price point. So on my channel, I'm all about being frugal and being prepared ahead of times that are just uncertain. So this might be a good time to go ahead and make those type of purchases.
If you're wondering why your Temu packages are getting delayed or canceled and why Amazon products are getting more expensive or paused or out of inventory, I don't know why you're surprised, because that was expected. That's what tariffs do, right? They inflate prices, and the problem is that a lot of businesses don't really know what to do right now, so they don't even know what to charge you because they don't want to get docked with a 100% tariff when they just sold you some garbage for $1.50, right? So it is really important to understand what's going on, how and when and why things are delayed, and just get an idea of what's going to happen within the next couple of months. Tariffs were just paused for 90 days, which is awesome. Except for China. China did not get that luxury or did not get that exemption because China and the US are kind of playing patty cake right now. They really want to figure something out because China is our largest trade partner, and because of that, there's a big dependency on China. Well,
but at the end of the day, they just afraid. You see, they queen of heaven is falling, man. These honkies, these devils, these crackers, these peckerwoods. You understand? You see, they very afraid, man. They are petrified. They frightened to death. You see, they so scared straight. They trying to lock niggas up, man, for preaching the Bible. You understand? You see? And that shit is going to spiral out of control globally, man. If they see any nigga preaching the Bible, you see, the Bible is a weapon, man. It condemns wickedness and evilness. You see, evil, wicked-ass demon devils, man. These crackers, these hunkies, so-called white people. Esau, Edom. You understand? You see, that's how you know they the devil. You trying to lock people up for reading the Bible. You see, think about that, man. Make it make sense. Did you see that shit? You see? There's so much shit going on, man. But you motherfuckers that believe in prepping, trying to hold on. You see? The Heavenly Father ain't dealing with that, man. It's all about your faith. You see? This is the book of Zephaniah. Close out, man. You on your dig, you know what I mean? You see? Look at these Egyptians, these Babylonians, scared straight. You see? Panicking, man. I noticed you don't see no Jakes, do you? You don't see no niggas. You see? You know why? Because you niggas, us niggas, you niggas, us niggas, we used to poverty. you see, and destitute situations. You dig? You know what I mean? You see, we used to it, man. All you see is bitches and heathens, heathen devils, and brute beasts. You see, it's Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10. Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10. You see, Zephaniah 1 and verse 10. And it shall come to pass in that day. You see, what is he talking about, man? A collapse, sickness, illness, diseases. You see, at an all-time high, man. Madness, evilness, wickedness. You see, wickedness, evilness, deceitfulness. You dig? You know what I mean? You see, people gonna be bugged the fuck out, man. You understand? You see? And it's happening right now. Look at these evil ass nigga women bitches, man. You see? Anti-depression, bipolar problems, no man, no husband, no direction. You see? And we talking about these hoes, these bitches, these hoes, these bitches, they over the age 30. That's sad, man. That's pathetic. You see? Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10. Zephaniah 1 and verse 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, you see, saith the Lord Yahweh, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate. You see? See? That's a famine, man. Because this demon devil, Mr. White Man, you see? See? This fucking demon devil, he's poisoning the water, man. You can't even have good, sufficient fish. Did you see that shit? You see? But most importantly, it's the will of the Heavenly Father on the left-hand side. You on your dig, you know what I mean? You see? And howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills, if you will. See? He said a great crashing, man. These proud-ass Edomites, these Peckerwoods, these honkies. You see? See? They don't think this place about to collapse, man. They think somehow Donald Trump gonna save them. You understand?
If the US feels like we're getting ripped off by China, which is arguably accurate, but also the way we retaliate against it is quite significant. So, who is in the right? Were we mistreated? I mean, it was a deal that we agreed to in the first place. So is that being mistreated because we could have just not agreed to the deal? I don't know. Let's not get into that. What we should get into is understanding the consequences and what the US and China does about the situation that we're in right now. Now, Donald Trump is really confident that this is going to get resolved. China, on the other side, is probably a little more terrified that their economy is going to have a big downturn and they need to do something about it. Now, China also plays the money printer card a lot faster.
So what do you guys think? Do you think that the tariffs should have been paused on China as well? Let me know your thoughts down below. As of right now, again, prices are going to be going up. So make sure that if there are things that you do need, start thinking about if you can get them, go ahead and get them now. Things that I buy on Amazon that are some of my favorite items in terms of preparedness are listed down in the description box below. So feel free to check those out. But I really recommend just going ahead and trying to stay ahead of inflationary costs, because costs are going up everywhere, all around us, all the time, and things are getting more and more difficult. So the average American is already having an extremely hard time to get by, and this is the last thing that they need, higher prices. Now, again, whether you are Team Biden or Team Trump or Team Kamala or whoever else, the reality is this is where we're at right now. And the thing that we should be doing is focusing on trying to, again, mitigate these future costs that are going to be coming down the pipeline for us. And also, a lot of products are being canceled and the orders are being canceled. I've actually seen a lot of videos about that already. So keep that in mind. Just because you order something doesn't mean that we're also going to be getting it, right? At least not right now, or who knows when. So keep that in mind, take that into consideration as you are going about your day. I hope this information has been helpful to you, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.
Today, Trump announced that he is planning to send U.S. citizens to a notorious torture dungeon in El Salvador. This was during a meeting with the president of that country, President Bukele. And if you listen, the mics catch him before the meeting starts, telling Bukele that next he wants to send the homegrowns to that prison. Just take a listen.
Homegrown's the next. The homegrown's built. You got to build about 5 more places.
So this is exactly what a lot of us have been warning about. And in fact, later on in that meeting, he got asked more about it and confirmed that, yes, he wanted to send American citizens to this prison.
I'd like to go a step further. I mean, I said it to Pam. I don't know what the laws are. We always have to obey the laws, but we also have homegrown criminals. I'd like to include them in the group of people to get them out of the country, but you'll have to be looking at the laws on that, Steve.
You mentioned that you're open to deporting individuals that aren't foreign aliens, but criminals to El Salvador. Does that include potentially U.S. citizens fully naturalized American?
If they're criminals and if they hit people with baseball bats over their head that happen to be 90 years old, and if they rape 87-year-old women in Coney Island, Brooklyn, yeah, that includes them. What do you think? There's a special category of person. They're as bad as anybody that comes in. We have bad ones too, and I'm all for it.
Deporting American citizens to Central American prisons. Is it legal, or do you need to change the law to do it?
Well, it's another question that the president has raised. It's a legal question that the president is looking into. And he talked about this yesterday with his meeting with President Bukele in the Oval Office. He would only consider this, if legal, for Americans who are the most violent, egregious, repeat offenders of crime who nobody in this room wants living in their communities.
Let's hear the question from this very low-rated anchor at CBS.
Thank you, President. Do you plan to ask President Bukele to help return the man who your administration says was mistakenly deported? The man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador?
Well, let me ask Pam, would you answer that question?
Sure, President. First and foremost, he was illegally in our country. He had been illegally in our country. And in 2019, 2 courts, an immigration court and an appellate immigration court, ruled that he was a member of MS-13 and he was illegally in our country. Right now, it was additional paperwork that needed to be done. That's up to El Salvador if they want to return him.
The question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States. So you can release him inside El Salvador? Yeah, but I'm not releasing. We're not very fond of releasing terrorists into our country. We just turned the murder capital of the world to the safest country in the Western Hemisphere, and you want us to go back into the releasing criminals so we can go back to being the murder capital of the world? That's not going to happen.
Trump says homegrown Americans are next to go to El Salvador. Tells Bukele, gotta build about 5 more places. To clarify, the president President of the United States just asked the President of El Salvador live in the Oval Office on a hot mic to build him 5 more prisons because he's going to be sending United States citizens to fill them.
I don't understand what the confusion is. This individual is a citizen of El Salvador. He was illegally in the United States and was returned to his country. That's where you deport people back to their country of origin, except for Venezuela that wasn't refusing to take people back or places like that. I can tell you this, Mr. President, no, the foreign policy of the United States is conducted by the President of the United States, not by a court.
Donde impera el orden, control y disciplina. Acá hay reglas y normas que se deben cumplir al pie de la letra. Al pie de la letra. ¿Estamos claros? Sí. ¿Estamos claros? Señor. No lo dejo.
I've had enough. Yeah, I've had enough of this horse shit. I don't give a shit what kind of law you make. I ain't gonna follow it. I ain't paying my taxes this year. I just don't even care. I'm not gonna be ruled by tyrants. I'm done. No taxes. I'm not following your goddamn laws that you make that are arbitrary and unconstitutional. I just ain't doing it. I've had fucking enough of your bullshit. Washington State, Oregon, California, kiss my ass.
And you got people, you know, dancing and popping bottles and celebrating, and they believe that this devil is doing everything substantial, you see. Crazy, man. Madness, man. You know what I mean? You see? This shit is crazy, man. Real talk. You know what I mean?
Life as an American citizen is a constant uphill battle. We're just swimming upstream against the current every day in this country. Anytime you try to progress forward in some area of your life, you get shoved right back where you started because of something that is happening in this country that is outside of your control. For example, you get a raise at work, and that raise doesn't matter because your rent's gone up, your car insurance has increased substantially, your groceries cost more, everything is expensive. So all that raise did was cover the inflationary burden that we are constantly under as American citizens. You don't have more money now. Your life isn't better for it. You can't do more with that money because your bills have gone up. You try to get your health under control, so you're eating clean, you're drinking your water, you're taking your supplements, you're eliminating toxins, and you still get sick because there's pesticides all over your vegetables, because the water you drink is polluted, the air you're breathing is polluted, because there's carcinogens in your shampoo and your lotions and your blanket fabrics.
Hey, these Edomites, they gotta pay. You see? So-called white people. These red dragon demon devils, these serpents, these vipers, these cobras, these pythons. You see? See? Man, they gotta pay, man, for all the evilness and wickedness. You understand? You see? This is Zephaniah 2 and verse 13. You see, Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 13. And he will stretch out his hand against the north. You understand? You see, what is the north? That's Babylon the Great, America, this filthy, nasty ass place. You see, this is the north. You Edomites, you red dragon demon devils, you about to get it. So-called white people, you crackers, you honkies. You see, you about to pay, you about to suffer at a moment's notice. You see, any given day, you know what I mean? Facts, man. You see, Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 13. Zephaniah 2 and verse 13. And he will stretch out his hand against the north. You understand? See? You see? Yes. He gonna blow this motherfucker up, man. He gonna burn y'all ass up, man. You Edomites. You see? You filthy, nasty, demonic ass, pants wearing ass nigga women bitches. Your bitch ass got to go. And dick sucking ass niggas. You see? Hell yeah, man. He gonna burn y'all ass up, man. That's what he talking about. You understand? You see? You know what I mean? Zephaniah 2 and verse 13. Zephaniah 2 and verse 13. And he will stretch out his hand against the north, you see, and destroy Assyria. See, that's talking about America. Assyria in the Bible represent the mother of harlots. Did you see that shit? You see? See? Full of used up coochie. Ran through pussy. Leftover bitches. You see? Dress wearing ass niggas. Simp ass, sucker ass niggas. You see? You know what I mean? And he will stretch out his hand against the north. You understand? See? You see? That's talking about daughter of Babylon that never been touched, that will be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. You dig? You know what I mean? You see? And destroy Assyria, and will make Nineveh a desolation and dry like a wilderness. Did you see that shit? You see? See? Nineveh, Assyria, that goes into Babylon the Great. This evil, filthy, nasty, disgusting ass place. You see? Like to say, call Elohim Blah, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai. Call Elohim Blah, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai. All praise to Mashiach Yahushai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai. Call Allah, call Allah, call Elohim, call Elohim. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai. All praise Mashiach Yahushai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai. Call Yasharallah, Prince of Power. Yeah, Jerusalem, we up. Yeah, Jerusalem, we up. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai. All praise Mashiach Yahushai. Shalom, shalom, shalom to you Aquatium, you Akim, that some sisters, some few dear lovely young sisters, some few dear sisters and you brothers of the faith of the ministry of this thing of ours. Peace and love to you, peace and love to you. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai. All praise Mashiach Yahushai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai. Shalom, shalom, shalom to the 144,000, the elect, the women and men, children that's going to make it to the kingdom. The honors, apostles, elders, and watchmen, servants, and prophets, a great millstone, who I learned the truth from only through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. All praise Mashiach Yahushai. And Lord willing, you brothers and sisters, was edified. It's on to the next one. Shalom.
To improve it, try to better yourself as a person. So you're going to therapy every week and you're reading the books and you're listening to the mental health podcasts, and yet your mental health is still in the shitter because you're in survival mode all the time, because you're under chronic stress from financial strain or from the anxiety of all of the things that are happening almost every day in this country. It's 2 steps forward and 2 steps back all of the time. You try to pursue something to improve your life, and America as an ideology is like, nope, and shoves you right back where you started. And this isn't negative or pessimistic thinking. This is the reality of being an American citizen today. I mean, how many of you out there are making more money today than you have ever made in your entire life, and you are doing worse financially than you were 10 years ago, or at the very least doing the exact same financially? It's like the only reason that we're pursuing anything now is just so that our life doesn't get worse. This is what we mean by the American dream is dead, because trying to pursue anything to make your life better doesn't make your life better. It either makes your life exactly the same, or it's just a little less shitty than it would be if you had done nothing. The idea of a good life in this country is so elusive to the average American citizen. It is constantly moving further and further away from us, and we have to keep running faster and faster just to get close enough, but we'll never actually catch it. And the only reason that we're running towards it now is because the further away it gets, the worse our life gets. So we're running just so that our life won't get worse. You know, the other day my son asked me, I don't understand Trump, Mom. Why wouldn't a president want his people to be doing better? And I had to explain to him that this is the nature of a narcissist. They don't want people around them to do better. They want to do better at other people's expense. And it's wild that half the country voted for this. And I have to ask, are we great yet? Are you doing better? Are you making more money? Can you afford your life now? Can you afford the life that you dream of? Because if not, then what the fuck was the point?